Okay. All right. Thank you, Karina. I think I had my camera cover on. That's not very helpful. We'll just give it a few minutes here while people roll in. Where are you guys from? Ooh, Tennessee. I love it there. I don't think I've been to Chattanooga, though. Are you guys having the same heat we are up here in Michigan? It was in the 90s and humid.
Not quite at 90, almost.
So how did you find out about Mindful Next Chapters? How did we reach you?
Not sure. I've got a bunch of stuff coming in, and
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I don't know who you're registered with.
Yeah, well, mostly I think most of the people come in through Facebook ads, so it's more than likely where it happened.
No, it wasn't Facebook.
Oh, could it have been YouTube maybe? Because I have
don't think so.
a YouTube channel. Huh, that's interesting. Is there anything in particular you're hoping to get out of this webinar?
I'm wondering if it's too late for me.
It's never too late.
Well, I'll be 84 in July.
Wow, good for you. Good for you. You could probably teach the course.
Nah.
That's a good
Not
sign
after,
if you couldn't.
Not after this last year.
Rough one?
Yep.
No, I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. All right, I guess we're going to go ahead and get started. So you're going to need a pen and paper or a journal with you to jot down your thoughts, insights, and the questions for the question and answer session at the end. We're going to ask you to hold the questions until the end because I'm worried if you put them in the chat as we roll, I might miss them. We're going to go about an hour. You might want to grab your favorite beverage or ensure you have the time and space you need. And stay to the end for a special offer and bonus. You must live in the present. Launch yourself on every wave. Find eternity in each moment. Fools stand on their island of opportunities and look towards another land. There is no other land. There is no other life but this. Henry David Thoreau. I want you to think about someone you know who is vibrant. You know, that person that you just love to be around, or maybe even persons, right? People with higher vibrational frequencies have much in common. They are other-centered, open-minded, and are genuinely curious about others. And they attend to their own physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. They understand how their well-being or lack of can affect those around them. And so they really take good care of themselves. And also, most importantly, they know how to enjoy the present. This webinar is for those individuals who are ready to make changes in their life to increase their retirement vibrancy. Increasing your vibrancy would lead to better mental, physical, and spiritual well-being and improve your relationships. The same things that increase your vibrancy improve your health and expand your longevity, which will take your retirement to the next level. While we are all aware of the need to attend to our physical, emotional, and spiritual health, it sometimes can all feel so overwhelming. Let's take it step by step, making it less intimidating and get you set up for success. Let me tell you a little bit about myself for those aren't aware. I'm board certified in family medicine and hospice and palliative care. I have 40 years of medical experience, and 20 of those are in hospice and palliative care. My passion is attending to the mind, body, and spirit of my patients. And I'll be sharing experiences, resources, and ideas meant to help make your golden years your best year. Throughout my life, I've been fascinated in the wide range of vibrancy in people. I've come to recognize that the more vibrant my patients are, the more resilient they are in overcoming or coping with their health issues. My more vibrant patients clearly had more peaceful and meaningful end-of-life experiences. I want everyone to have an amazing, vibrant retirement. And I also want these vibrant people to be able to hang on to their vibrancy even as they approach their last chapter. I've created the Mindful Next Chapters Master Course that focuses on healthy and vibrant aging, anticipating and preparing for declining health and death, and the essentials needed by caregivers. I'll be presenting an introductory time-limited offer for the Master Course at the end of the session. I know that if you are here, you are interested in a vibrant retirement. I'd like to invite you to make a commitment to yourself to have a vibrant retirement. Type C for committed in the chat if you are committed. Okay, great. All of you are taking the most important step in the process. You can't be vibrant without being committed to yourself. The outline for the webinar today is how our culture fails to prepare people for retirement, the consequences of the lack of retirement and mentors, what is vibrancy and mindful aging, and then we'll get into the mindful solutions and approaches to increase your vibrancy and to improve your longevity and quality of life as you age. We'll have the question and answer session, and then I'll go over some closing and beneficial offers and bonuses. Think about it. At every stage of our lives, childhood, college, career, and parenting, we have mentors. The presence of these mentors is driven by our culture's need for us to be vibrant and productive members of our communities. But somehow that gets dropped when we retire. There aren't any mentors to prepare us for retirement. We're left to figure it all out on our own. Our Mindful Next Chapter's master course is the mentor you need. There are several consequences of the lack of retirement mentorship. We lose our meaning, purpose, and vibrancy during retirement, and society loses all of the amazing potential contributions that we have to offer. Let's talk about vibration and vibrancy. Vibration is a person's emotional state that is communicated to and felt by others. Vibrancy is the state of being full of energy and life. A person's vibrancy is not static, but it exists within a range specific to the individual that over time can be nudged to a higher frequency. And vibrancy isn't about being an extrovert. Some of the most introverted people I know are also the most vibrant. A vibrant person still has the full range of human emotions. They're not always happy. A common mistake I see people make is falling into toxic positivism. This is the belief that if they only look at the positive things in life, it will improve their quality of life. It's been my experience that people who embrace this sort of mindset usually are ill prepared for the realities of retirement, aging, and death. Stress is a major obstacle to overcome in maintaining your vibrancy. I think most people would be surprised that there are simple and quick techniques to reduce stress and thus reduce dementia, heart disease, and early death. I'd like to share with you how to recognize stress and a simple practice to reduce the effects stress has on your body and your vibrancy. The first thing you need to do to manage stress is to recognize it. I often see people of high stress lives who cannot even recognize that they're stressed. They have become so used to it that they can't see it. At Mindful Next Chapters, we're all about learning from each other. If you could put in the chat, guys, a couple things signs that you have when you're being stressed. I know that I get sweaty palms. It's my big sign for sure. It's important to know that it isn't the amount of stress you have. Oh, yeah. Short-tempered with others. I get it. Yeah. Holding breath. Oh, that's not good. All right. It's important to know that it isn't the amount of stress you have, but rather how you adjust your body's response to the stress that mitigates the risk. Oh my. Racing thoughts, sleepless nights, headaches, tension in the shoulders. Yeah, those are all very common signs of physical signs of stress, for sure. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is to relax. So the technique I want to talk about is box breathing. It's a simple tool to activate your rest and relax hormones, which modifies your stress response. It's easy to learn and implement. And I recommend beginning using this technique when you have maybe a small, less emotional stressors first. And when you become more proficient with it, you can effortlessly go to this when a larger, more emotional stress occurs. Box breathing is a breathing pattern that balances the breathing process between 4 different stages: inhale, hold, exhale, and hold. The hold phase represents not inhaling or exhaling. Let's practice this together. I'm going to guide you through the pattern, telling you when to transition to the next phase. This is best done with the eyes closed, but it can be done with eyes open if you are in a situation where you need the calm, but you can't close your eyes. So what we're going to do is we're going to inhale for the count of 4, hold for 4, exhale 4, and hold for 4. So to start off, take a big deep breath and exhale. And inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Once more, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. You can do this just until you feel calmer, and it'll be variable how oftentimes you might need to do it depending on the stressor that you're experiencing. There's a lot of information out there about staying healthy. Unfortunately, most of this is not evidence-based, and it's geared towards taking your money by selling you some gadget device or miracle pill. The Mindful Next Chapters Master Course provides you with evidence-based techniques to improve your health without any expensive devices. Take a moment and assess how confident you are on a scale of 1 to 10 that you know what you need to do for your physical health. Okay. Now think about what you are already doing for your physical health and jot these things down. I'm sure there's many things, but just get some of them down there. And now, when you look at that list, are there any of those things that while you're doing them, you might need to be doing them more consistently? If so, put a star next to those items that you just starred, and then you can apply the process that I'm going to introduce in the next couple slides to go back to those things to maybe increase your consistency. And then jot down any new health habits that you would benefit from starting. Or on the flip side, if there's a habit that you would like to eliminate rather than bring on that might help your health. Starting with smaller, easier changes and moving forward to bigger ones has been shown to be a more successful model than trying everything at once or attempting to tackle the more difficult changes first. An example might be, I want a better work-life balance. Well, that's a pretty broad thing. The smaller step within it might be just to focus on leaving work on time. I invite you to take one of the health habit changes you identified, and if need be, break it down to a simple step that would be part of the larger goal. Can you type in the chat that you are committed to doing this one small change? Doug, that's a good one, but you might need to break it down into something smaller. That's a pretty broad one. Yeah, so think about that. Those small changes and very specific changes can be very helpful. People who identify barriers to implementing health changes and formulate a plan that eliminates or mitigates the barriers are more successful. Common barriers to implementing change are often related to location, situation, timing, and the people around you. Take a moment and identify one potential barrier to the commitment you just made to yourself, and write that barrier down. After the webinar, you can go back to this barrier and identify what you can do to mitigate it. In review, successful goal achieving process involves 4 steps. First, identify a goal. Second, break the goal down into smaller steps. Identify barriers to achieving the goal and formulate a plan to address the barriers. Next, we're going to talk about creativity. Creativity improves your health, longevity, and vibrancy, and it also has been shown to prevent dementia. It's even better than doing puzzles for the prevention of dementia. And what you create doesn't have to be shared with anyone for you to gain the benefit. And what you create doesn't have to be something tangible. Creativity takes on many forms: problem solving, efficiency processes, learning a new concept and implementing it into your life. You're actually engaging in a creative process right now. I've found that the biggest barrier to creativity is perfectionism. Don't let perfectionism hinder your creativity. Keeping a realistic, optimistic outlook on life increases your quality of life and raises your vibrancy. Let's look at how we can handle our pessimistic thoughts. It's important to address pessimism because it's been linked to premature death. Pessimism can be decreased over time with 2 simple steps. The first one is paying attention to your thoughts and acknowledging and writing down the pessimistic thoughts that you have. And then reframe this thought in a more positive perspective and write this down too. An easy way to identify a pessimistic thought is when it has either an always or a never in it. An example would be like, I don't know why I bother to try to lose weight. I always cave into temptation. The reframe might go something like, while it sometimes seems that I'm frequently succumbing to temptation, I know that when I recognize when I do this, it gives me opportunity to create a strategy to stop this behavior. This reframe is usually an empowering factor in of itself that gets you ready for the next time the issue arises. Next, we're going to talk about mindfulness, the benefits of a mindful practice, and a couple really easy peasy mindful practices that anyone can easily do. Mindfulness has been linked to decreased dementia, heart disease, and early death. The benefits from mindfulness are not limited to a formal, extended mindful practice. Believe me, I know, not too many people want to sit on a pillow doing nothing for 30 minutes. Turns out 3 one-minute mindful periods each day have been shown to have health benefits in terms of dementia, heart disease, and early death. Here are 2 simple mindful exercises you can easily do for 1 minute. The first one is just to look around you and observe any movement you see. You don't have to analyze it, name it, or anything. Just observe it. The second one is a breathing exercise. It involves saying or thinking, hello moment, as you breathe in, and then say or think, I am here, when you exhale. It may be helpful to set an alarm on your phone for 3 times a day to remind you to perform these 1-minute mindful exercises, or link them to something that you're already doing 3 times a day. Okay, so those are some pointers about taking care of your physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being, which can help increase your vibrancy. I want to share some specifics about the Mindfulness Chapters Master Course and the phenomenal offer I have for you. The Master Course is broken down to cover 2 primary topics, mindful retirement and final chapters, plus an additional bonus topic on caregiving. In total, the course is broken down into 7 modules with 34 lessons. The mindful retirement focuses on your well-being during retirement. You can see the topics listed in the screen. I'd like to highlight some of the lessons that through my work I know will especially improve your retirement experience. The lessons on happiness, meaning and purpose, and loneliness are topics that frequently are particularly problematic for my patients. Plus, there are lessons that cover opportunities that many people miss in improving relationships and leaving behind a legacy. These are simple to implement evidence-based approaches to improve your health and longevity. Besides sharing with you the things that you can do to make your retirement more fulfilling, I'll also identify the things to avoid and how to get over the hurdles that are holding you back. I'll show you what you need to maintain your overall well-being and avoid mistakes that so many of my patients regretted. I present each lesson in a way that makes them easy to grasp and implement. However, some of you may have a harder time with certain lessons. I've added additional resources and references with each lesson that includes links to books, YouTube videos, podcasts, and more to get you through some of the harder topics. The value of these curated references and resources alone will save you the time it would take to find them, and as an expert in the field, I validated each one. While a few of these topics were mentioned in the webinar, the course information is different and a little more detailed. Because we are all going to be facing our inevitable physical decline and death, I've developed the final chapters modules. This is essentially a palliative care consultation. Let me share with you what I do to help my patients understand the really complex, difficult, and inevitable discussions that come up as we age and at end of life. By preparing you before you are faced with these decisions, I can save you from what so many of my patients and their families face when they are being expected to make these decisions when it feels like there isn't enough time to really think about what you would really want. These lessons are perfect for you to share with your family to get everyone up to speed and be prepared should they be the ones having to direct your care. You can see that these lessons cover a broad range of topics that you likely never would have thought of. These lessons are a deep dive to help you prepare for and know what to expect in your end-of-life journey. I share evidence-based information you need that your healthcare providers are not going to tell you. Information is power, and these modules will enable you to have improved communications with your healthcare providers. And while the topics are rather deep, don't worry, I present them in a way that truly empowers you. Many of us are finding ourselves in the caregiver role for our own aging parents or siblings. This can become overwhelming, to say the least. Let me prepare you for the issues that you will likely face. I will help you to be an empowered, knowledgeable caregiver so you can avoid the all too often caregiver burnout. In the bonus caregiver module, I provide tips and tricks to ensure your own well-being. And while you are a caregiver, as with the final chapters module, the information in these lessons are great to share with your family too. Lesson 1 ensures that you are aware of burnout and its effects on you and what to do about it. Lesson 2 highlights the specific things you need to know about your loved one's conditions and needs. Lesson 3 will prepare you for the death vigil, ensuring that it is a peaceful, beautiful experience for you and your loved one. In Lesson 4, I guide you through what to expect during the grieving process and what to do to ensure you grieve in a healthy, healing manner. Each lesson consists of a 5 to 10-minute video lessons. It doesn't require a large time commitment to get the essential information that can transform your life, ease your caregiving burden, and make your end-of-life journey the best it can be. I've selected each of these topics because of the high probability that these will impact you. As such, you can focus your time on the things that really matter and not so much time on the more trivial topics that aren't covered in this course. As I mentioned before, if you want to go deeper into any of the topics, there's also a list of resources and references that I have personally curated for each lesson. The lifetime access allows you to go at your own pace. You'll also have access to monthly group question and answer calls with me for 6 months and access to exclusive Mindful Next Chapters Master Course Support Group, where you can connect with people who are doing the same modules you are to get support and maybe some additional guidance from people who are going through it. The bonus introductory price is $299. That's half off. And this is only a one-time introductory offer, only available to those viewing this webinar. Here's the link to take advantage of the special pricing. I will add this link, will be displayed during the Q&A to make it easier for you to write it down. We'll also be sending this out in email with a link to a replay of the webinar for your convenience. You'll be able to replay this webinar and you can go over anything you might have missed or go through the exercises at your own pace. I promise you that this master course will prepare you for your present and future challenges. I don't want you not to get the master class at this amazing price out of fear of buyer's remorse. That's why we provide 100% money-back guarantee for the first 30 days. This is the launch for the master class. I cannot guarantee that this will ever be offered at this price again. So now we're going to start on the Q&A session. It seems that we have few enough people here. If you would, you can either put your questions in the chat, or if you'd rather, I can try to unmute you, or if you can unmute yourself. Either way will work. Okay. Do any of you have questions? Some of the common questions I get are a sense of disbelief that there are simple things that aren't overwhelming that can be done to help prevent all of these diseases and improve your vibrancy. And I promise you that all of these things have been proven to be effective, especially when done consistently. Liz, at this point in time, we're only offering it as a package, but we can look into what that might look like when people want only one module. But at this point, I think that buying one module is probably going to cost you about the same as getting all of them. So you will get a link when you purchase that takes you to the course content directly. Doug. Okay, well, if there are no other questions, we'll finish up. Thank you so much for attending, whether you're attending in person or viewing the recording. And once again, here's the link to the special offer.